Greetings gamers, FiOth here, and in this vid, one that is slightly overdue, I will be breaking down the best perks to have on your weapons during a new game cycle, that is your first playthrough. Some of these are staples that should always be on your person, but I'm gonna clear up the air when it comes to what is conflicting and what is not, why you should be seeing specific numbers in specific cases, and of course, the perks that will help your overall economy of the game going forward so you can get the gear you want, level up fast, and have an overall good copper balance. So before anything else, I am going to go into my inventory and show you my weapons. I have 4 weapons at the moment. The Chivalrous Swordman Dual Sword is my main. That is my weapon of choice. And as you can see, it's pretty well spec'd. I am nearing the end game. I'm getting only up to 8 level still at this point. But if you're here where I am, like in chapter 5, you know that you pretty much have access to all the generic perks, and from that point onward is jewels, jewel essences, and what can drop for you in order to optimize. So I was very lucky with this pair of swords, but for your main, you mainly want to have perks that suit your playstyle. So there is nothing to be said about the weapon that will actually deal the damage to the enemy. My suggestion is power gain upon martial arts is excellent, is always good, always helps. Melee attack power is great, and then the HP recovery upon fatal strike was just here. I was lucky. It is substantial, but you can have pretty much anything, and it's of course not a given that you will be using the dual swords. You might be using anything. So we don't care about this, and we don't care about our secondary weapon because these standing here are not changing the things going on in the background that are going to help us. You cannot sacrifice the effectiveness of your main weapon to get more ki, for example. That's not why these weapons are here. These weapons are here to defeat the enemy. But what's happening in the background is far more interesting. So I'm going to take off all my armor, and I'm going to show you my bamboo crossbow. So a bamboo crossbow comes with the stealth intrinsic, increases stealth. That's always good, that's fine. I'm playing a stealth character and this is helping. Now we have ice attack power, increase size damage and status effect accumulation. Because I'm using a water phase build and this will help, it's not a must. What is a must is have damage dealt on your ranged weapon that currently shows on your back. Okay, and I'm going to explain why right now. If you go to special effects, you can see that my damage dealt is plus 2.2. Okay, 2.2 is the damage dealt bonus that I get from the bamboo crossbow. Just to make sure nothing is misunderstood, there is no damage dealt here, there is no damage dealt here. Melee damage, melee attack damage is a different perk, okay? Do not confuse the two. We're talking the exact wording. If it's not duplicated, it's not the same. So, this damage dealt is across the board, affects everything damage-wise. So your weapon of choice for range, the one that will be shown on your back at any given moment, should have damage dealt on it. Now my bamboo bow would also be a candidate for this, but it has bow spirit damage. That is a red arrow intrinsic. Being intrinsic is not what matters. Intrinsic meaning that it comes with a weapon as a staple and will always be here. What matters is that a weapon, a piece of gear, cannot have two of the kind. It cannot have two red arrow perks. So here I was able to reroll damage dealt, and here I was not able to reroll damage dealt because bow spirit damage is something that's already here. I cannot change it, so a bamboo bow can never be a good candidate to just be the weapon carried on your back when you are traversing and fighting in melee. You want to reroll a bamboo crossbow or any other ranged that does not have a damage related perk on it. That is a perk that has this red arrow pointing left. At the left of the name, you can see a little red arrow pointing left. That means that this perk is a perk related to damage dealt. So there is conflicting here. Okay, that's what I want to underline. There are perk conflicts in Hulong as there are perk conflicts in Neo. Not two of the same category can be on any given piece of equipment, excluding the generic ones, like the perks with this circle, like Ice Attack Power, Luck, Genuine Q Obtention. That doesn't matter. They can be all over the item. All the slots can be occupied by generic utilitarian ones. Okay, so that's one. Conflicts, and you should have damage dealt on your primary ranged weapon. Moving on from here, what we want is genuine keen obtention, and that is extremely important during new game for a very simple reason. Having these stacked means that you're getting more ki. Okay, getting more ki means that you're getting more levels faster. That's very, very important, guys, because people who are struggling with certain bosses like Liu Bu, for example, will be decimated if they get there and they are under leveled. He is a tough nut to crack even if you are over leveled. So to improve enjoyment of the game and avoid having to grind for hours on end, passively gaining more levels is gonna benefit you tremendously. So increased key drops is excellent. So let's check something. I have genuine Q obtention here, and I have genuine Q obtention here as well. It's 7.5 on both, and as you can see, there's nothing related here. I have no armor, so it just should be 15%. Okay. So going to special effects. And you can see 77.5%. As with the damage, key obtention and all these kind of things do not affect you if it is not tied to the currently equipped ranged weapon. What can we take away from this? One of your weapons can be used as a means to improve your overall economy and drops, and one of your weapons can be used as a form of attack. Now what I have done here is have genuine Q obtention and luck on both of my weapons, although they will not stack. Okay, we can verify this with luck as well, but whilst I'm traversing, sometimes I just forget swapping them, so it would be much worse for me if I was running through a dungeon without getting any of these benefits because I forgot to swap than, you know, just sacrifice 2 slots on the ranged weapon. That's not my primary way of dealing damage anyway. The one on your left slot, the one that will show in your back, should have the perks that are going to help you with your economy. And the two most important are luck and genuine Q obtention. Then we want damage dealt, because that will affect your damage. And then when it comes to ice attack, it helps me because of the way I am approaching the thing. But I'm gonna give you some alternatives, okay? So I'm gonna go to my bamboo crossbow, unlock it, go ice attack. I cannot remove stealth because it's intrinsic. Go ice attack. I am removing it. And then we're gonna take a look at how to have available. All these that you're seeing here will be available to you as soon as you dismantle your first item after the salvage tutorial. So don't worry about how you're gonna get them. These are all elemental. One thing I want you to remember is if something is not dealing the kind of damage depicted here, if it's not a weapon that uses toxin or stone or flame or lightning or ice, having added attack power will not net you anything. Okay, it's not like it's dealing physical and then you add ice attack power and it will suddenly start dealing ice damage as well. For a weapon to deal ice damage, it needs to first be dealing ice damage inherently. If you activate a divine beast that gives you ice damage and you have this on your weapon, it will accumulate and you'll deal more ice damage. But if you're not dealing ice damage in the first place, it's not helping you. Having this on a piece of equipment that's currently equipped and using a spell will benefit the spell, so keep that in mind. So these are all resistances and extending durations and all that good stuff. Marking flag detection is great. It's great for your first playthrough because it can be extremely annoying to find these marking flags. Not extremely helpful in combat, but you know, not getting a headache every time you're going through a main story mission is also a good idea. Enemy detection is good so you don't get surprised. And now we're going into the get more out of the general experience thing. Morale rank points gain is very, very good because you will be able to raise your morale faster. And that means that the enemy who is like level 8 at the beginning of the level and you'd need to kill 20 enemies to defeat, maybe you could do in 18 enemies, maybe you could do in 17 enemies. It will speed up the process of gaining morale as long as you're not getting hit by crushing blows and as long as you're not dying, of course. Okay. Copper obtention will help you with your overall copper economy, but if you ask me, you're getting a lot of money anyway, especially if you're selling your tier 1 gear. Because tier 1 gear will never have jewels, and they rarely leave behind any good materials unless you are upgraded to +4, +5, and so on and so forth. You don't really need to worry about money. Spirit gain is good, not something that will help you long term, but spirit gain is good because it will affect pretty much the entirety of your effort to defeat the enemy. And from there on downwards, you have different perks. Luck and Genuine Key, I already added them, and the stuff that's here and is grayed out, it's either incompatible or already used. So we don't need to worry about that. You can see the incompatibility is the red arrow pointing left as I showed you. They are conflicting with damage dealt. Self-explanatory that we cannot use them. So, according to what you're using, you might go with any of these secondary choices. I'll get some spirit gain. Not gonna hurt. Remember to always lock the stuff you want to keep as is. Don't destroy your gear by mistake or you're gonna have a headache. And always remember to have the weapon that you actually want to affect your stats on your back. I cannot stress this enough because if it's not showing on your back, it's not netting you any benefits. Only the one on your back will actually net you the benefits. You can always verify what's working and what is not working by going into your menu, clicking X or square if you are on PlayStation and checking what is working. It's very, very, very easy. So everything is here as I placed it. Now I have 52 luck. Do not get confused because I also have accumulated luck from my headgear and my bow. Okay, luck is something you want to have as much as possible of because it will affect your drops. So don't be shy into investing in luck. And also remember that we've been talking about the main weapon on your back, the main ranged weapon, but everything used on your armor across the board will be additive. I will make a video on the armor as well. So I hope this helps. Sub, like, share, hit the notification bell. If you're wondering about accessories, we will visit them in the armor vid. So I'll bring that to you real soon. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment section below. If you want to support the channel, you can visit Patreon or get a membership. And until next time, be well, stay frosty, and always strive for perfection. Cheers!